It's just a matter of what you do that'll make you straight. And you're like, wait a second. It's this idea, and I'm fascinated by this idea of healing and this idea of performance, because so much of conversion therapy, the way to fix all of these quote unquote issues, or the way to fix homosexuality or gender deviance or whatever they might name it, the way to fix it is performance. It is a legitimate performance of gender and a performance of sexuality. And they say essentially fake it till you make it. So they'll say it's not a matter like of what you do that'll make you straight. It's just a matter of what you do that'll make you straight. And you're like, wait a second. Did I hear you correctly? Yeah. And it's really where it's saying that at a certain point, you're acting like a real man. And of course, within the definition of a real man is a heterosexual man. So they'll say at first you're going to be acting like a man, but over time, you're not just going to act like a man. You're eventually going to become a real man. And that sort of habituated persona that you've been performing will not just be a persona, it'll actually become who you are if you do it over time and long enough and with enough focus and dedication to Jesus. And so that for me, this idea of performance I've thought about it in this sort of like dramaturgic, sort of like theatrical way, that it's so much of evangelicalism. This is not just within conversion therapy. And like you said, like they expect you to have the sort of the public face and then also who you are behind the scenes. And even that behind the scenes, right? We use all this language that I think is really coming from the theater because so much of it maps onto our experience, that we're told we can't just be ourselves. We have to constantly weigh and measure and consider every little thing we do. And of course, the emotional labor and the psychological labor that you sort of exert to do all this is like unbelievably tiring, right? Like I think so many of us, when we left the church, we felt like we could like breathe again because we didn't have to constantly perform. We didn't have to constantly be something that we weren't, because apparently who we were behind closed doors was bad. And so I think that although we talk about conversion therapy, I think to your point that within this broader religious system, it's not just it's not encouraged to act, it's required to act. Because if you don't, well, you're going to get the boot. You're not going to be a part of the community because you don't, again, align in every way the way that you're supposed to align. And if you don't align, well, you're goodbye. And I think that this is endemic to this entire religious movement and community or communities. And I think it's just like disgusting at the end of the day.